Mention of the planet Saturn conjures up gullible curiosities about the ancient carnival called Saturnalia. This is during the time when ancient Rome was the most important and greatest empire on the earth. Amusement commenced requiring laughter. People had to be able to yuck it up, and they had to have a lot of clowns and comedians to be able to get the crowd to laugh. Also, they did a lot of exchanging of gifts, exchanging of presents, as well as gambling or games of chance. Slaves were seated at the tables and then treated to being served lavish meals by their masters. Let's consider John 13:6-11. This is the Douay-Rheims Bible. He cometh therefore to Simon Peter, and Peter saith to him, Lord, dost thou wash my feet? Jesus answered and said to him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. Peter saith to him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, If I wash thee not, thou shalt have no part with me. Simon Peter saith to him, Lord, not only my feet, but also my hands and my head. Jesus saith to him, He that is washed needeth not but to wash his feet, but is clean wholly. And you are clean, but not all. For he knew who he was that would betray him. Therefore he said, You are not all clean. Now, the number 8 is the number of Jesus Christ. And this is very important. This is about biblical gematria, which is the ancient Babylonian system of coding adopted by Greek and Jewish scribes when they penned the Bible. Now, the number 8 is also the atomic number of the element of oxygen. The planet Uranus is a harbinger of revolution, political activism, and radical behavior. Notice I said radical, which means that it is an element that reacts due to the presence of an uncoupled subatomic particle or particles designated as an electron or electrons in subatomic physics. These free radicals can cause damage to an individual's health and are usually treated with antioxidants naturally produced by the body. Now, cholesterol is such a natural antioxidant produced by the body. It's what God gave you as your natural antioxidant to fight off the free radicals caused by much oxygenation. Remember, oxygen, the atomic number is 8, and the number of Jesus Christ is what? 8 in gematria. This is why many physicians caution their patients not to allow their cholesterol levels to get too low, because very decreased cholesterol levels don't provide enough antioxidants to stave off malignancies and these types of things. Now, oxygen is known as a substance that is necessary for life, but it also causes free radicals in the body that often harm DNA via the oxygenation process. This is demonstrated in that we see that the oxygenation process causes iron to rust, for example. So we know that this is true. It's simple, basic physics. It's just simple chemistry, really. An antichrist, and understand this, an antichrist is none other than the antioxidant meant to create inert substances or groups of people that are not radical and do not react. Therefore, we see that Jesus Christ is the radical oxygen atom, while the Antichrist is the antioxidant supplied by God to keep the body of Christ healthy. Both are necessary for life. Now, 12 is the number of the Blessed Virgin Mother Mary in biblical gematria, again gotten from the ancient Babylonian system adopted by the Greeks and the Hebrews to write their scriptures. Remember, before Zoroaster came up with monotheism, understand that the Hebrews were a pagan society who had various and sundry gods like everybody else. Now, the atomic number of magnesium is 12, and the number of the Blessed Virgin Mary is 12. Now, what happens when oxygen, the number 8, is mixed with magnesium powder via oxygen gas that is present in the air we breathe? A highly explosive reaction occurs from magnesium while burning that also produces ultraviolet light. This is the power of the Catholic Mass and the secret of the alchemical miracle of the Catholic Mass exposed. This is the miracle of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the infant Jesus. This is the first revelation of Our Lady to the world. These are the important, long-kept secrets she wishes you to know. She is exclusively giving us this information because it's time for this information to be seen by everyone. The ultraviolet light produced from the miracle of Jesus, born of a virgin, is the combination of Jesus or oxygen applied to the Madonna or magnesium, causing the creation of magnesium oxide through a magnesium burn. A brilliant white light is produced, but also ultraviolet light is released as well as the ultraviolet portion of the spectrum revealed. This process is used by alchemists to attain communication with ultraviolet beings known as angels or archangels. Much is to be learned from holy guardian angels by those who have been properly preordained and prepared with either orbitally rearranged monoatomic elements or morning dew methods of creating alchemical elixirs. Rosicrucian Kabbalah assigns the Saturn aspect to the Sephirah of Binah and the god name H.O.A.F, Elohim, or Yahweh Elohim. There are once very secret and hidden occult permutations of the name of God gotten from the known tetragrammaton of Yod-He-Vav-He, some of which are given to us in the book entitled Illuminations, Mystical Meditations on the Hebrew Alphabet, The Healing of the Soul by Dolores Ashcroft Nowicki, where she explains that based upon a replacement code, the method where Aleph will turn into Tau and Beth into Shin, quote unquote, the author gives us the name Ma-Pa-Tz to use in the stead of using the letters Yod, Vav, and He. So she's using Ma, Pa, and Zadi. So she's using Mem, Pe, and Zadi, and they're putting an Aleph in there to give some kind of vowel, but it's a Ma, Pa, Tz. Because Zadi, it's a TZ sound. And this is where you go from using Yud, Vav, and He to form the tetragrammaton of Yud, He, Vav, He. So again, the mother letters, the Hebrew mother letters, are 3, and they're Shin, Mem, and Aleph. It's also important to note here that Rosicrucian Kabbalah assigns the divine name of El to the planet Jupiter and the Sephir of Chesed. Some adepts use and assign the name El to the planet Saturn, and other forms assign it to Jupiter. So just understand, you have to use what works best for you, as we say over and over and over again. Now, be aware that revolutionaries often have even more strict laws to impose upon their converted or conquered subjects than the original oligarchy they seek to overthrow. All groups or governments eventually become concentrated in the hands of only a few, which is the refreshment of the body politic will need to ensue either by realizations of the necessity of renewal from within or from being offered a better deal from without. So, in other words, when a few people amass great amounts of power in their hands and they sort of begin to be elitist and they dictate to everybody and no one can get a fair share, then this is when a refreshment of the Tree of Liberty is necessary. And this happens over and over again in politics, and religion and politics play a very necessary role, because it's often said that religion is the opiate of the people, where you stop the poor from doing harm to the rich. But also, religion can also be a method to get the rich to be understanding and generous with the poor, and the poorest of all people, which sometimes are left out. So everything usually tends to balance out. Now, the Archangel Gabriel can be used for projective invocations to emanate from one's self, or invocations, evocations, however you want to phrase it, pushing out into the sphere of sensation of the other for projection during a full moon phase of the magus, when the magus is fully coming into alignment with the lunar part of the brain, which is H.O.A.F, which is in the back of the head. It's when the magus lines up with their own source of power, which is the unconscious. So that's what happens at this juncture. And that's when the magus wants to experience an ordeal. Now, such a purposeful test is actually merging between the magus and his or her own higher self or holy guardian angel to conquer her or himself where? Within, attained by the attributes of revealing and concealing light from the Creator through the qualities of the Sephirah of Binah, Saturn, or Kronos. Uranus is found in the Sephirah of Keter, sharing with the it's shared with the Prima Mobile in Kabbalah, especially if you're going to look at Rosicrucian Kabbalah. Now, some magical orders place Uranus in Chokmah, while others, such as Crowley and his devotees, place the revolutionary planet in the Sephirah of Da'ath, which means knowledge. It's the invisible Sephirah of Da'ath. Now, the zodiac angel is Cambriel, specifically used for the astrological sign of Aquarius, the water bearer, which is at once strictly by the book, and also at the same time can be radically activist in nature due to Saturn and Uranus associations that rule over the sign, resulting from air frequencies, or described as the air angel of the air realm. Now, for the cosmological event that is going to occur, and that's going to occur again this month. This is the full moon to ingress Aquarius, the water bearer. A full moon ingresses into the sign of Aquarius. The water bearer brings forth fruits of stringent, very strict laws, discipline, as well as revolution that must be balanced for either the invocation or evocation of sympathetic energies or magical currents that, when applied with purposeful intent and determination, result in successful outcomes rather than national, state, or global political frustrations. This cosmological occurrence is the perfect time to reaffirm your true will and stand your ground with previously well thought out plans. You can contact us at www.readingsbyrosemary.com for classes on how to attain knowledge and conversation with your holy guardian angel, as well as our Healing Wings of Light seminars, of which I, Pastor Rosemary, am the founder. Again, that's www.readingsbyrosemary.com.